Now we'll see conservation of water resources. How we can conserve water. Access to clean and adequate water sources is a major problem facing the world today. Steps have to be taken to conserve this dwindling resource. Even though water is a renewable resource, its overuse and pollution make it unfit for use. वाटर है हमारे पास बहुत वाटर अवेलेबल है it is a renewable resource then also उसका water का over use and pollution water pollution makes it unfit for use means we cannot use it. Discharge of untreated or partially treated sewage, you know sewage, all the water is thrown out in the rivers and seas. Agricultural, chemical and industrial effluents in water bodies are major contaminants. Water is contaminated by industrial wastage, chemicals are thrown out in the rivers, so all this water becomes dirty, means the water gets polluted. They pollute water with nitrates, metals, and pesticides. See, nitrates, uh, metals, pesticides, all these pollute water. All these contaminants make the water pollute. So we have to conserve our water so that we can use it. See, in this picture, River Yamuna is getting polluted due to sewage, industrial effluents, and garbage. ये जो हमारा वाटर का प्रॉब्लम है उसे कम करने के लिए वी हैव टू कंजर्व वाटर. Most of the chemicals are non-biodegradable and reach human bodies through water. Water pollution can be controlled by treating these effluents suitably before releasing them in water bodies. Forest and other vegetation cover slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. See, chemical, some of them are non-biodegradable and they reach human bodies through water. Now, water pollution, they can be controlled by treating this effluent suitably before releasing them in water bodies. Before we are releasing that waste in the water bodies, some steps should be taken so that water does not get more polluted before reaching humans. Same way, forest and vegetation, that will also help in storing water, means the soil surface will not run off, the soil will be there and the water will get into the underground, the rainwater, so that it can store it. Water harvesting is another method to save surface runoff. This is known as water harvesting, so that surface runoff is not there. The canals used for irrigating fields should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage. Sprinklers effectively irrigate the area by checking water losses through seepage and evaporation. In dry regions with high rates of evaporation, drip or trickle irrigation is very useful. The valuable water resource can therefore be conserved by adopting these means of irrigation. See, in the irrigation also, if we are using drip irrigation method and all this method or sprinkling water, we can say you can see a water sprinkler in the picture is given. This method will help to save water so that the water can be conserved for the future use. Rainwater harvesting also can be done. You have studied earlier how to harvest rainwater. Now, natural vegetation and wildlife. Some school children were visiting an exhibition on handicraft. The articles in the exhibition were collected from different parts of the country. Mona picked up a bag and exclaimed, "This is a beautiful handbag. Yes, it is made from jute." Jute, आपको पता है कि जो गुनी होती है गेहूँ की या उसकी, that is known as jute, वो जो मटेरियल होता है. The teacher said, "Do you see those basket, lampshades and chairs? Those are made of canes and bamboo." Canes और bamboo से वो बनी हुई चीज़ें हैं. Means all these handicraft items were made from different natural things. In the eastern and northeastern humid regions of India, bamboo grows in plenty. See, in eastern and northeastern, that is humid regions, in that part of India, bamboo grows in a plenty. Jessie was excited to see a silk scarf which girls use made of silk, that she was excited to see. See this beautiful scarf. The teacher explained that silk is obtained from silkworms. We all have studied that silk is produced from the silkworms that are bred by mulberry trees. The children understood that plants provide us with many different products that we use in our day-to-day life. We all know that we are using plant products in day-to-day life, and we are getting lots of things in our life. Natural vegetation and life exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere that we call biosphere. जो natural vegetation and wildlife that exist in the narrow zone, that is known as biosphere. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated and are interdependent. They are related also and they are dependent also on each other for survival. This life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. Vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources. Plants provide us with timber, give shelter to animals, produce oxygen we breathe, protect soil. See, all these are uses we can see. So essential for growing crops. For growing crops also it is necessary. Act as shelter belts, help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex, turpentine oil, gum, medicinal plants, and also the paper that is so essential for your studies. There are innumerable uses of plants, and you can add some more. We all know that plants have a lot of uses. Wildlife includes animals. Now we'll talk about wildlife. So it includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. They provide us, we get many things from animals also, from wildlife. Milk, meat, hides and wool. Insect like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. The birds feed on insects and act as decomposers as well. Vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a vital cleanser of the environment. See, we can see that how animals and plants, they both are useful to us in different ways. So animals, big or small, all are integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Now distribution of natural vegetation. The growth of vegetation depends primarily on temperature and moisture. See, the growth is dependent on temperature and moisture of the particular area. The major vegetation types of the world are grouped as forest, grassland, scrubs and tundra. In areas of heavy rainfall, huge trees may thrive. मतलब बहुत सारे huge trees होते हैं. The forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supply. These are associated with the areas they have a lots of water, plenty amount of water. As the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density reduces. Moisture जैसे decrease हो जाता है, then size of the trees also decrease and the density in that area also reduces. Short stunt trees and grasses grow in the regions of moderate rainfall, forming the grasslands of the world. Where there is moderate rainfall, तो वहाँ पे बहुत short trees and grass वो grow होते हैं. Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall. जहाँ पे low rainfall है, बहुत ही कम rainfall होता है, वहाँ पे ये shrubs वगैरह, scrubs और thorns वगैरह grow होते हैं. In such areas, plants have deep roots and leaves with thorny and waxy surfaces reduce loss of moisture through transpiration. You have studied in science about transpiration. Tundra vegetation of cold polar regions comprise of mosses and lichens. Today there are many more people in the world than there were 2 centuries back. To feed the growing numbers, large areas of forest have been cleared to grow crops. Many forests are cleared to grow crops so that we can feed large number of population. Forest cover all over the world is vanishing rapidly. जो forest था वो vanish हो रहा है. There is an urgent need to conserve this valuable resource. Now conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. How we can conserve natural vegetation and wildlife. See, forests are our wealth. We get lots of things from the forest. They are also inhabitant to animals. Now plants give shelter to the animals and together they maintain the ecosystem. Changes of climate and human interferences can cause the loss of natural habitats. See, if a climate is also changing and humans are also interfering, means they are using it a lot and human behavior is affected. So this causes the loss to natural habitats for the plants and animals. Many species have become vulnerable or endangered, means they have at the end of extinction, deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of this resource. Means they are the reason, all these given reasons, they are the reason why they are extinct, the animals or plants, anything. One of the major concerns is the poaching, which result in a sharp decline in the number of particular species. The animals are poached for collection, means they are killed, they are harmed. Why? For trades of hides, skin, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers, because they have some economical value. Some of these animals, see which animals are being hunted: tiger, lion, elephant, deer, black buck, crocodile, rhinoceros, snow leopard, ostrich, and peacock. These these can be conserved by increasing awareness. See, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserve are made to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. All these are made for the protection of natural vegetation and wildlife, to conserve it. Conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetlands is necessary to save the precious resource from depletion, मतलब खत्म होने से. There is a balance in the environment if the relative number of species is not disturbed. अगर एक balance है environment में, if the species are available in balanced manner, then it won't disturb nature. Human activities in several parts of the world have disturbed the natural environment, the natural vegetation, wildlife, and all this. You can see a newspaper is given. Now, due to indiscriminate killings, several birds and animals have either become extinct or are of the verge of extinct. मतलब we can see that they are at the end of extinction. Awareness programs like social forestry and One Mahotsav should be encouraged. ये encourage करते हैं in the regional and community level, so that there is awareness among the people. School children should be encouraged to bird watch and visit nature camps. All these things can be done so that they appreciate the habitat of varied species. Many countries have passed laws against the trade as well as killing of birds and animals. In India, killing lions, tiger, deer, great Indian bustards, and peacock is illegal. You are being punished. It is an punishable act. An international convention, CITES, has been established that lists several species of animals and birds in which trade is prohibited. Means in अगर इनके कोई भी animals के use करके कोई भी things बनाई गई है तो that is prohibited. Conservation of plants and animals is an ethical duty of every citizen. It is our duty to protect them.